Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple of outlets to this side of the wall. We're going to do 2 here on this wall, and we're going to do another one back here for a sprinkler controller. Okay, so when I draw in this box, I want to leave sheetrock for these little ears or tabs to catch, and I always want to use a level. Okay, and then we can mark this up. So to cut it, I'm just going to use a standard sheetrock saw. So we're just going to pop this guy in. Like I said, I want to know where this edge is. So I don't want to cut the left edge first. I want to cut this right edge and just make sure that I'm going to be able to get in there without hitting a stud. Okay, so we'll go this way. Okay, so let's cut in the second box. Have it drawn out. Again, we're going to use the same process. We're going to put a little pilot hole in the center, and then we're going to take something to poke around in there just to make sure that we have room, and we do, and it's deep enough. So again, in this case, I have the luxury of seeing exactly where the studs are, so it makes it a lot easier. It's not always going to be this easy. Obviously, if the wall was painted, we wouldn't be seeing all of this. So we know that we're good here. We're ready to cut this one. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut in the next one. So same process. Let's make sure it's level. We can draw this out. So again, this is an old single gang plastic old work box. It uses these tabs, so we don't want to cut past this this little lip here. Okay, so once we have it drawn out, we can take this, pop this through the center, and then we're going to use this guy to feel around, make sure we have enough space. So this guy is turning, but it's hitting insulation. Okay, so that's also something to consider. It's not always going to be open and empty, completely empty. So we can go ahead and cut this. If we cut side to side first, we'll know if we're going to hit anything. So we'll pop this in. Okay, so we know we're good on that side. If we go this way, we know we're good on that side. And again, I have the luxury of knowing exactly where the studs are because I can physically see them, but that's not always the case. So don't overcut it on the top and bottom. I want to make sure that I leave enough. I can always remove a little bit of material if I need to. Okay, so there's the box. Hole for the box. Here's the box. It's a little bit tight, which is good. We want that. So now what we can do is kind of just come in and just open this up a little bit. Make sure the ears are in. Like that, and this box will fit just like that. Once we tighten these 2 screws, the box gets tight in the wall, and that's pretty much it for cutting in and laying out. Okay, so at this point we're ready to drill some holes in the wall and framing. So the garage ceiling, the framing is going this way, and then of course we have studs that come down the wall here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill through this top plate, which is often 2 2x4s that are laid flat, stacked on top of each other. That's not always the case. It really depends on the type of house, where and when it was built. So we're going to drill one hole going up this way, and then we're going to drill another hole here to catch it. So this is going to get the wire from the outlet below. It's going to get it up through this way and into the ceiling so that we can go that way. This is a solid header across here. so that doesn't offer us much option. So I have a drill set up with a extension with a 3/4 inch drill bit. So let's get to it. So when I drill this hole, I want to drill it as straight or as vertical as possible. If I have too much of an angle on this drill with this amount of extension, it's going to actually come out the other side. So I don't want to do that. Again, when you're doing this, you got to be careful because there could be wires, other wires inside of here that you could certainly hit with the drill. So I know this garage pretty well and I know what's in here. So I'm pretty good with going with a hole right here. So now what we need to do is make another hole basically in the same location so that we can fish around and catch it. So what I'll do is I'll just come in here, and at this point I don't think I need to drill through any framing, but we'll find out more once we get something up in there. So we'll do this. Okay, so as you can see, I push my drill through and it goes in pretty far. So what that's telling me is that there isn't a 2x6 here that's going to block us. So what we should be able to do is get something up here and then catch it this way, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to show you a pretty easy trick to get something to pull a wire through here with. So what I'll do is I'll just take just a single piece of 14 gauge wire. I'm gonna make like a little hoop on the end. So maybe we'll just do something like this. Okay. So if we pop this guy up into here like this. So the other part of this is a fish wire, and it's got a hook on the end, as you can see. So I'm gonna use this to grab this 14 gauge wire here. So if I put this in here, and it may take a little bit of time. You kind of have to feel around, I guess, so that you'll grab it. But once you get it, you'll know that you have it. So you want to make sure this is long enough. And then what you should be able to do is pull this straight through just like that. Okay? So at this point, we could leave this like this for now, and we can continue drilling holes. This is really the bigger part of the pull, is getting around through here, and then we're going to have to do the same thing on the other side of the door. And like I said, the outlet is right below us here, so that pull straight up should be pretty easy. So let's move on to the next part of this. Okay, so we have our first pull string or pull cord here ready to go. So like I said, the framing and the ceiling goes this way. So we're going to need to cut and notch some of these 2x6s here. So what I always like to do is figure out which way I'm going to actually run the wire and drill the holes in that direction, going all the way across. It just makes it easier to pull the wire through. So let's drill some holes going this way. Again, when I do this, I want to be careful because there can be wires inside the ceiling or pipes, so I want to be real careful when I'm drilling. All right, so that's one. Also, when I do this, I want to keep it in as straight a line as possible. That's just going to make it a whole lot easier to actually fish the wire through. So I'm starting behind the beam, so the beam is kind of here, 2x6. So I'm starting, you know, away from it. And then what I want to try to do is drill through it, okay? All right, so we're going to do one more here, and this is going to get us past the door. Okay, so we're on this side of the door. The next thing that we're going to need to do, we drilled through this one here, is we're going to need to come down the wall here so that we can hit our 3 outlets along this wall. So we're going to do the same thing that we did here, only we're going to do it on this side. So as you can see, I've already been in here, And I do know that there are wires in here, so I want to be careful when I'm drilling this because I don't want to drill into any of the existing wiring. Sometimes what you can do is you can actually cut a little hole in the sheetrock and remove it so you can physically look in there and be able to determine what's in there. I also have the garage door opener running through here also. So let's figure out where to put a hole. I know that I'm going to have until here before I hit another beam. So I'm thinking if I come down maybe somewhere in here, that should probably be good. So let's do it. So same process, I'm just going to take a piece of 14 gauge wire. I'm going to make a little hoop on the end like this. And this is what we're going to use to go in and catch and pull it out. Okay, so we're going to go somewhere in here. We're going to be on this side of this beam, and we're going to be within this bay here. Okay, so we'll start somewhere down here. So we're going to drill into the sheetrock this way, and then we're going to bring the drill down here like this, and then we're going to go straight. Okay, so this one is a little bit of a problem because I'm hitting some kind of nail. So what I'm going to do is just simply move over a little bit. Something like this. And there it is. So now we need another hole here. Just like that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, just like we did on the other side, and we're going to pop it through here. And then we're going to go in here like this. So sometimes it's not all that easy to get, but to start with, you should be able to feel that you're hitting it. So at this point, I can feel it. I just need to figure out how to hook it and pull it back. Okay. So there it is. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I want to actually start pulling some wire. So this is going to connect to a 20 amp circuit. So we're going to use 12-2. So we're ready to attach the wire to this and pull it through the ceiling.